Official 3D printed mockups of the iPhone 15 lineup have been leaked online, and the big question is this: should you wait for the new iPhone 15 lineup with this brand new redesign, or is it disappointing? Let's jump right into it. Now, these are the actual official iPhone 15 models, and we know that for sure because Max Weinbach almost a month ago leaked the exclusive iPhone 15 Pro CADs, and these are the case CADs, so they are official, and he was actually right the year before with the iPhone 14 Pro CADs that turned out to be completely true. And then he even posted the official iPhone 15 case CADs, which also seem to be correct based on the same design. Then we also get the 15 Pro Max as well from Ice Universe, matching everything quite well. And based on those official CADs, Ian Zelbo has been working on some realistic renders. As you can see, we have a new titanium finish for the 15 Pro and Pro Max models, USB-C, and a new design where it's not completely flat on the bottom. It curves into the display, matching the 2.5D glass. So that is going to be absolutely amazing. But getting to the point of if it's disappointing or not, one thing that we do know for sure is that the iPhone is currently on a 3-year redesign cycle where every 3 iPhones we get a full redesign. For example, the iPhone 6 got a full redesign in 2014 with the rounded curves and edges. Then we got the iPhone 10 in 2017, 3 years later, with the notch, a complete redesign with stainless steel sides and so many other changes. Then in 2020, we got the iPhone 12 with flat sides and other changes, big ones that came to it. And then of course this year, the iPhone 15 lineup 3 years later with that new design that I'm gonna show you and get into with those 3D printed mockups. And then 3 years from now, we're also getting the iPhone 18. And as you can see right here, based on the rumors, we're gonna have no notch, no camera, nothing 3 years from now, and maybe even bigger changes, potentially portless. And you can see Ross Young was actually the leaker for that. Here is his layout for the next couple of years. As you can see, this shows that both the iPhone 15 regular models and Pro models are getting the pill plus hole, finally getting rid of the notch. And then apparently next year, they're putting Face ID under the display for the next couple of years. And then finally with the 2026 iPhone 18, 3 years from now, everything is going under the display. And basically my prediction for that model 3 years from now is a completely portless iPhone, being the first iPhone to be fully waterproof even in salt water. And that's because they're getting rid of all the ports and switching to haptic buttons, as I'm gonna show you in this video. So let's get into these 3D mockups. But first, I've got to show you the new Halo Lock Geo Wallet stand from our partner ESR. It's actually the world's first MagSafe wallet with an Apple certified Bluetooth Find My module built in, which means it can be tracked in real time using the Find My app, including a speaker to help you find it, whereas Apple's MagSafe wallet only updates the location when it's attached onto your phone, making it kind of useless. The Geo Wallet stand comes with a built-in battery that lasts 3 months, as well as a really cool USB-C to pin charger, so there's no actual ports on the wallet either. It holds up to 3 cards with a dynamic tension spring so they won't fall out, as well as a cutout at the bottom to help get them out. The MagSafe connection is very strong with a 1500G holding force, over 2 times more than Apple's wallet. It also comes with a convenient finger loop and highly adjustable stand built in, which also works in landscape mode for watching videos. So definitely check it out using the link in the description below. And now let's get into the 3D mockups of the iPhone 15 lineup. And I do want to mention that they did this last year as well with the 14 series, and those turned out to be completely spot on and accurate, so we can trust and rely in these mockups. So let's get right into it. So we see the lineup of 4 phones. We have the iPhone 15, then the 15 Plus, 15 Pro, and the 15 Pro Max, exactly as we have it right now. We have basically the same lineup. Now, right off the bat, we can see the bottom of the iPhone 15, and we can notice the USB Type-C port. So yes, the entire lineup is getting USB-C, but we also notice the curved edges going around the bottom side and all the sides. and merging with the glass. So the glass is actually going to be flat on the display side, but as it gets into the bezels, it's going to be etched with 2.5D glass that merges into the actual metal frame exactly how the Apple Watches are currently manufactured. The glass itself just merges perfectly into the frame. So that's being brought to the iPhone 15 lineup, whereas we have the iPhone 14 Pro Max right here, and you can see that we have sharp edges on the sides right here. So it's completely flat with sharp edges, flat on the front as well. So that's being completely changed this year. And now you're gonna feel like you're holding it like it's very smooth, and it's also gonna feel thinner because those corners are basically getting shaved down and nice and smooth. And now moving on to the 15 Plus, we can basically see that the camera bump is staying fairly similar. Yes, it's getting a little bit larger, but not by that much. And yes, we still only have 2 cameras, no telephoto on the regular models, which is of course a little bit disappointing. And now we have the 15 Pro. Look at that massive camera bump that we have. It's absolutely huge. And then when he twists it sideways, look at how thick the camera bump is getting with the 15 Pro models. It's absolutely insane, sticking out like crazy, almost the size of the phone itself in the camera bump. Mind-blowing. Of course, we see the USB-C port, and one thing on the Pro models is that it might actually be a lot faster in terms of the transfer speeds, maybe even Thunderbolt or USB 4 speeds, which is gonna be so much faster than the regular models, which probably will be limited to USB 2.0 speeds, just like we have on the current iPhones right now, insanely slow. But now check this out. This is a very important part because it shows a massive change to the buttons. As you can see, unlike on the regular models, we have one large button on the 15 Pro. You can actually see that difference right here with the volume buttons on all of them, and there's some huge changes. As you can see on the bottom, we have a regular rocker for the silent switch or the mute switch, and then 2 separate volume buttons up and down, but this time around it's getting completely revamped. As you can see at the top, the Pro models, the Pro and the Pro Max, the actual mute switch is getting changed and redesigned with these couple of pins on the inside that you can see. Now for the volume button, we have a huge long button instead of individual ones right here. Now this was actually mentioned and reported on by Daniel from Zone of Tech, and other people chimed in basically saying that we're getting solid state unified buttons for the volume rocker and the mute button instead of using a switch. So basically, they are no longer going to physically move or click at all. It's literally gonna work like Touch ID, the solid state button, used to work. Or in fact, it still does work that way on the iPhone SE model. So essentially, it's gonna be one long button, and it's gonna feel when you press up or down, and it might even be able to be switched to do different things into the settings. I'm not exactly sure, but I am sad to see the mute switch go and get replaced with a mute button. That is going to suck. Now, to show that these were actually the case CADs, we can see that they have new iPhone 15 cases, and everything's gonna be changed around, so unfortunately you won't be able to use your iPhone 14 Pro or regular lineup cases for these new models. You're gonna have to buy new ones. But now let me go back and answer the original question. Is this going to be a disappointing redesign this year? Well, in my opinion, no. I think it's actually gonna be pretty awesome. First of all, because we have this new titanium finish, which is gonna look and feel different, it's actually gonna lower the weight of the iPhone compared to the current model we have now. Of course, USB-C is gonna be an absolute dream across the entire lineup. That is gonna be amazing. It's gonna improve your transfer speeds, at least on the Pro models. That's gonna be very helpful, and it's gonna make it more convenient for the average user just having USB-C chargers and cables and accessories everywhere instead of having to find your lightning cable. That's gonna be awesome. For example, the iPad Pros use USB-C chargers, so you could just use the same charger for both of those. On top of that, we also know that the regular models are ditching the notch for good finally, so anybody buying the regular models is going to have a better experience, better display without the notch. And I've gotta say, personally, I like the idea of having flat sides on the bottom, but it being curved around the actual edges and corners to match up with the glass, so it is gonna feel much better in your hand compared to having the sharp edges of the iPhone 14 kind of dig into your hands. So it's gonna feel slimmer and better, overall more premium. So even though we didn't get a massive redesign like these renders that I created with Renders by Shailesh, showing a completely flat back with an extra camera, the telephoto, basically the telescopic one. It looks like Apple's gonna basically combine the telescopic camera into the telephoto, completely replacing it and hopefully having automatic zoom, like real zoom, built into the iPhone from 3x to 6x. So none of this is happening. We're not getting massive changes like this, but I do think the redesign that we are getting is going to be good enough. So with that said, if you disagree with me, let me know down in the comment section below. But if you enjoyed this video, click the circle above to subscribe. Definitely check out one of those two videos right over there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.